Let's begin. Alright, I'm going to be talking about my last video. I'm going to be talking about the Big 12 the way I see it. And I'm going to be talking about the OU A&M game. Let's get the ball rolling. I'm going to talk about my last video. You know, I find it really funny how people are coming onto my page and telling me how much my team sucks. And then, when my team dominates, they come back into my page and say, oh, well, it's just because the other team sucked. That's the only reason you won. That's hilarious. Because that's pretty much all they can say. Look, time to set y'all straight. If you had paid any attention the week before the OU-Nebraska game, you would have seen that that game was not supposed to go down the way it did. Nebraska's stats weren't that far behind ours. The Nebraska Cornhuskers nearly beat the Texas Tech Red Raiders, the current #2 team in the country, in Lubbock. They forced the Red Raiders into overtime. The Nebraska Cornhuskers came closer to beating Tech at home than the Texas Longhorns did. And that, I know that sounds like I'm knocking you Texas Longhorns fans, but it's just the facts, alright? My team gets the credit for the way they played that game. You want to know why I was so excited? Because for that game, I did not see one single long kickoff return. The special team stepped up. The kicking team stepped up. The defense stepped up. For the first time, I was seeing my team play at the level they were playing back at TCU. So you know what? You have no right to tell me not to be excited about when my team wins. So please stop wasting my time with arguments like that. You're just embarrassing yourself. But whatever. Moving on. The Big 12. This is one of the closest races I've ever seen. I know this weekend, personally, I'll be cheering for my Sooners, and I'll be cheering for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Personally, I want Tech to win. If Oklahoma State wins one more time, they'll be knocked out of the Big 12 South race. And personally, I'd rather have a 3-way tie than a 4-way tie. Tech is the last remaining Big 12 South team with an unbeaten record. Texas, us, and Okie State are now tied for second place. And more of you people are getting on my page and saying that even if there was a 3-way tie between us, Texas, and Tech, the team that's ranked higher in the BCS will go to the championship. And you're not lying. You're telling the truth. That is how it works. But then you said that that means Texas will go. Okay, currently, if you were making that argument right now, Tech would go, not Texas or us. And you're making the assumption that Texas is going to be ranked higher than us at the end of the year. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to be. There's no way I can predict that. But you're currently basing it off of the fact that Texas is still ahead of us in the rankings, and you're basing your argument off of that. There's still football to be played. You can't make that argument. And Texas's loss in this 4-game stretch could not have come at a more opportune time for Tech, us, and Okie State. If Texas had lost to Oklahoma State, then they would have still had a win to get over Texas Tech to up them. But now, Texas is fresh out of quality ranked teams to boost their ranking. We, however, have 2 awesome teams that if we beat, it'll make us look real good. Once we defend our house against the Texas Tech Red Raiders and take care of business in Stillwater, we're going to look great. I'm not saying that at the end of the year, we'll have the edge. I'm not saying that. I can't say that. I have no idea. But in my opinion, we do have the best 2 non-conference games of all 4 of the teams in the tiebreaker, Cincinnati and TCU. Not a single person on here can knock TCU anymore. They used to knock them all the time about them not being a quality team. Well, what are you saying now? They're in the top 20 now. It's going to look all that much better on us. Now, am I saying that at the end of the year, all of these things are going to roll up and give us the edge. No. I'm saying they're going to give us an edge. And I want Texas Tech to beat Oklahoma State this weekend. Because if Texas Tech comes to Norman unbeaten, and when they leave Norman with a loss, it's going to look all that much better against us. We're going to look great. Again, I'm not saying it's going to give us the edge. I'm saying it's going to give us an edge. There's no way I can possibly predict what's going to happen. But that's the way I see the Big 12. All right, now for the OU A&M game. I'll tell you one thing. Us OU fans, our players, and Stoops are certainly not overlooking the Aggies. I can tell you that right now, especially since we're going down to College Station. Any team that's playing in their home stadium, you can count on it. You can count on them playing with all of their heart, no matter what. Am I saying that A&M is a powerhouse team? No, I'm not. And hear me out first. Because they are in the Big 12 South, the same place that Oklahoma, Texas, Tech, and Oklahoma State is in. Those are the four powerhouses of the Big 12, in my opinion, right now. I'm not knocking A&M. They beat Colorado and Iowa State. I'm not knocking them for those wins. But that, in my opinion, that doesn't make them a powerhouse team. Now, am I saying that A&M is turning things around? Yeah. They're starting to turn things around for themselves. I think Mike Sherman is getting more comfortable with coaching the Aggies and coaching college football. I mean, it's a big, huge transition when you go from coaching the Green Bay Packers to the Texas A&M Aggies. I know that the Aggie players and the Aggie coaches are completely upset-minded this Saturday. And heck, I don't blame them. But the only problem is I truly believe they're overmatched in this one. I really do. We are not overlooking this game. We know what is at stake with this game. We know that just with one more loss, that's all it takes to knock us out of the Big 12 Championship. We know what's at stake with this. So yeah, we're going to win. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to go down to College Station. I'm going to win. Am I going to say it's going to be a blowout? No. It may turn into that, but I can't say that now. And I honestly don't believe that. Back in 2006 when we went to College Station, we squeaked out with a win. We did. It was a win. It wasn't a substantial win, but it was a win. When they came to Norman, I'm not going to talk too much about that, but it was very lopsided in our favor. So you can tell that there's a difference between stadiums. If A&M has an Achilles heel, it is their rush defense. And I will look towards our running backs to make great plays during this game. A&M seriously struggles against the run, and we have a great running game. We showed it off at Kansas State, and we're going to show it off in College Station. That's all I got to say. I'm out. Sooner Sun 2, gone.